final 3 weeks. Underway between the Philadelphia Union 2 in blue and gold, frantic from the get-go, and Rochester, New York FC. Its first year under this brand, the only independent club in the league, in white and green. Both teams start the day in playoff positions, but as Sebastien said, one of them could create some separation with a clear-cut win today. I think Rochester has a traveling section of 4 that is making quite a bit of noise right now off to our left.
They are pretty loud, I have to say. 4 of them, really pushing their team right now. But
we'll see how they're doing in the 70th minute.
Yes, we'll come back to them.
We told you the Union 5-1-1 in their last 7 games as Chris Donovan chases that and forced Kaique Santos into a bit of an awkward clearance.
Yeah, great pressure from Donovan with a long ball from Craig, clearing the ball, and the goalkeeper of Rochester was a bit like high as the sun and on top of the box, so he could not clear the ball very well.
Jesus Bueno for the Union, number 20 in blue and gold. Back to Brandon Craig. As Sebastien mentioned, Philadelphia coming off of a loss at Columbus, but it was a less than full strength lineup. 7 changes for today's outing.
And again, the best team in the Eastern Conference as well.
Yep, Columbus has locked up first place in the East and home field advantage throughout the Eastern Conference portion of the MLS Next Pro playoffs. In the Western Conference, it's a bit tight because Houston beat St. Louis City last night. St. Louis won, Houston and Tacoma tied for second, and North Texas SC is 4th and is all but officially clinched that 4th playoff spot. Sebastien, what have you seen from the Union games that you've been able to take part in? What are you expecting this afternoon?
I mean, you see a little bit, maybe not as much pressure as I was thinking they were going to come from. You can see both of the team right now kind of like sitting back and waiting for the opposing team to try to break them down by their passing. But it's kind of like normal for me. Just those 2 teams know how important is this game, and they don't want to do any mistake or press and be, counter-attack very quickly.
Rochester had lost 3 in a row, got an early goal to help them on their way to a 2-0 win over the New England Revolution, another team that is still involved in the Eastern Conference playoff race. No changes to Bruno Baltazar's lineup, so they try to keep that momentum going. Loose touch, pressured by Donovan, and Santos did get it away. He got caught on the follow-through as well. And Nabil Ben Salah, the referee, has decided that that's a foul, much to the consternation of Donovan.
I'm not sure it's a foul, just because the goalkeeper took really his time. He kicked the ball and knows the follow-through, but Donovan, I don't think, did anything mean to kick. We are seeing on this replay right now. First touch was not the best from Santos, and there's not much for me. I think it's goalkeeper know he was a little bit under pressure and did a mistake, and right now he's just on the floor for me to gain some time and get the ball back for his team.
He's played every minute of the MLS Next Pro regular season. Kaique Santos has been a star in shootouts. And we are going to see Philip Ejimadu start warming up, the backup goalkeeper who did see time in the Open Cup.
He doesn't look much on the replay. I'm sure he's going to be fine and go back.
Dr. Latou says, don't worry about it.
I've been there. I play against people like that. We saw, this weekend, even in the Premier League with Mendy in Chelsea, being on the ground, believing it was a big injury, but he came back. You saw like he kicked, but I don't think Donovan did anything for him.
7 shutouts on the year for Kaique Santos, 25-year-old Brazilian. Rochester team much older than your average MLS Next Pro squad. Average age today of the starters is 23.6. The only team that's really close is St. Louis City, which, as we've seen the second half of the season, has a lot of players who will be involved with the MLS first team next year. from the restart. Sorensen gets up, and it will be a Rochester throw on this near side. They were the Rhinos for a long time. They were raging from 1996 to 2007. They were just the Rhinos from 2008 to 17.
Yes, I remember. I had a chance to play at Rochester Rhinos with the Seattle Sounders in USL a couple of years ago when they were still the Rhinos. It was a good atmosphere over there.
And they are back under new ownership. That includes the prominent figurehead, Leicester City forward Jamie Vardy, who keeps tabs from afar. And they've had some good turnouts this year playing at Monroe Community College. They're in playoff position right now, playing one of their closest competitors as that one turns over. Bueno playing it through for Quinn Sullivan. Dangerous ball through the 6. Zambrano, 97 in blue and gold, was looking for it back near the penalty spot.
Yes, it was a great cross from Sullivan, who really put some pace into the cross right on the floor, in front of the goal. And it's kind of like where you need to have those forward. You saw Donovan making the near post run, but Zambrano stayed in the PK, and he could have maybe make a little run into the back post, and it could have been maybe a tap-in for him.
7th minute just underway from Chester. Union have been good here, but not overwhelming. 5-3-3, the home record. We've seen a lot of times MLS Next Pro home records vary widely depending on where the first team was that week. If the first team was at home, you got a lot more guys available for the game. And for the Union, they weren't home, but they were just up the road in New Jersey. So a lot of guys available to participate in both. That one ran out on the far side for a Rochester throw.
And you're seeing right now what Union is trying to do a little bit with Westfield right now coming up on his right side to try to take the space, behind Garrett, who kind of play high, and you have like a little pocket of space where they can find those long balls. It was a bit too long for this play, but I think that's what they're trying to do right now for the Union.
Yeah, this Rochester shape has been consistent much of the year. I call it kind of a 5-2-3. You'll see 6 Jallo and 5 Dolabella really sit in the middle of the park. How has this formation been successful and can be successful for Rochester?
I mean, he has a lot to do with Batiste and Garrett. I think it's those two players were kind of like hybrid. They need to know to choose their moment to go forward and then defend. And you see right now is a quick counter-attack from Rochester.
That's slotted through. Inalien onto it. Big stop by Freeze early on. The first good chance to Rochester. Matt Freeze equal to it.
Yeah, so it was a great ball from Dolabella, finding on the left side Inalien, who on his right foot tried to open, but Matt Freeze stay big and make the save. But you see Westfield got caught up, and Inalien almost got the first goal on this game.
Inalien, 23-year-old, grew up in the U.S., but played a couple years professionally in Scandinavia. He once scored 20 goals in 21 games at the 3rd division level.
Even if it's 3rd division level, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Cole Turner, 13 in blue and gold on it for Philadelphia. Back to Nathan Kanji, the only player in the Union starting lineup who's on an MLS Next Pro professional contract. There's 2 academy players and 8 on loan from the Union first team. And that's pretty standard for the way Philadelphia's done it because they have so many homegrown players they need to get minutes for. That's played diagonally through for Sullivan. Playing it through the 6 again, and Paxton Aronson will have to track it down after Kaique Santos got a hand to it. That's 2 chances for Sullivan to cross early.
Yeah, you see the danger coming a bit more on the right side right now with Sullivan. We don't call the name a lot of Aronson so far from the Union, but you see the good run Sullivan is making on the right side, and Westfield, really finding well into the space.
This is Frank Westfield, 16-year-old, and he wins a free kick here. I mean, this is a guy 16. He's 5th on the team in minutes this regular season. Really consistent.
Yeah, it means, you know, the coaching staff really are confident in his abilities, especially on the right side. We all know with the first team there is Baizo and Ariel who are really playing a lot of minutes and sharing the time with the first team. So somebody needs to step to be in this position for the Union 2, and Westfield have been a big part this year of this team, even if he's very young.
We saw last night someone had to step in on short notice. Matt Real getting minutes in the Union's first team victory. Brandon Craig to deliver from the right. Tough at the near post, off the post, and the follow-up is blocked out for a corner kick. Oh my goodness.
What a great look from Brandon Craig, who is taking every free kick and corner kick for the Union 2, and he saw that Santos was kind of like anticipating the cross, and he went straight for the goal, trying to catch Santos watching, but a great save for Santos to recover. And then you have Bueno with the volley, who find the back of Dolabella, who make the ball into the corner.
From the corner, came off of the back of Sullivan, out for a goal kick. You said it came back so hard I thought it came off the post, but Kaique Santos able to recover, and now he's shaken up again.
I'm not sure what he needs right now. If he needs a sub, or he's still holding his ankle, slapping the ground. So it looks like he's probably going to maybe make a sub and switch the goalkeeper, which is not really something you want for a team to have a goalkeeper change at the beginning of the game.
So Philip Ejimadu, you may remember from LAFC, played last year with the Las Vegas Lights.
But yeah, I was really thinking, like on the play of Donovan, that the kicks that Santos didn't do any damage. I think he was just trying to get a foul, but it looked like he maybe kicked Santos somewhere that really hurt and cannot continue. But he made another big save to really help this team in the beginning of the game on this opportunity from Craig on a free kick, and really save his team on this one.
We told you Kaique Santos has played every minute this year of MLS Next Pro action for Rochester. So that leaves the first few minutes significantly discombobulated, shall we say. No chance to establish a rhythm with a couple of stoppages like this early on.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the sub goalkeeper right now, you know, warming up, and it doesn't look like he's warming up very, very hard to get on the field. So I'm not sure it's going to be a sub.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's graduated to putting the gloves on just yet, certainly. We go back, and this is what we think is still the lingering effects from his first touch here.
Yes, you see Donovan, you know, pressing. I don't see really like him kicking, and he may have kicked the shin of Donovan, I feel like. But I don't think it's Donovan, you know, pulling his clit into the feet of Santos. It's more Santos kicking the shin or the knee of Donovan, like on a follow through from his kick, who maybe have hurt maybe the top of his foot, who can be painful for him right now.
So Kaique Santos determined to keep going.
So we all know he's not going to kick the ball far, so he's going to play short.
Chances for each team early on. Matt Freese in the Philadelphia goal with a critical stop with his legs on Will Inalien breaking through. And then Philadelphia threatening from the free kick. Donovan finds Quinn Sullivan. Denied once and denied a second time. Cleared off the goal line.
He has to score those chances, Sullivan. It's what makes the difference, you know, for him to play here today with the second team, and then, you know, moving to the first team. He need to get better, you know, finishing those chances. It was a great first save, but then the second chances he need to bury into the net.
Here he finds Bueno cutting it back. Too many touches, and it's cleared by Garrett, kept in play by Kaique Santos.
Yes, Bueno has been very good playing with the second team, but we saw again Aronson with a lot of space. Santos making the second save and then clearing off the line. Look like Lopez, who makes the save, helping his goalkeeper to stay at zeros, but Sullivan had a lot of time on this right side.
Nathan Kanji with a good step to win it for Philadelphia. One back, though. This is Rochester straight up the gut for Gibran Rayo. Twisting and turning and trying to find Inalien. Brandon Craig able to sweep up for Philadelphia.
Yeah, great comeback from Sorensen, helping the defense with Rayo, going back on his left foot. I was not able to find Inalien on the other side.
Dolabella out wide for Ian Garrett, the left wing back in this Rochester system. Ahead for Rayo. 12 goals, 3 assists. Ian Garrett in the penalty area, playing it all the way through. Jesus Batiz tracks it down. Nutmegged Paxton Aronson. He's known for his 1v1 play, so we got a little sneak peek of that right there. Here's Boubacar Diallo, number 6. Not to be confused with the Union's Boubacar Diallo, who, thankfully for the broadcasters, starts the game on the bench. Here's Kaique Santos. This has been dangerous. Donovan will give chase again, and he's still limping.
Yes, not sure if he's going to stay in this game, but he looks like he doesn't want to come off.
Dolabella overhit that one.
Yes, it was a good sequence from Rochester, starting with the left with Garrett, I think, who went through the Union defense a bit too easily. Craig kind of not really defending very well with a good cross in front of the goal of Matt Freeze, but nobody was on at the end for Rochester, and then Batty's going on 1-1 against Sorensen, trying to keep the ball, and at the end, they just lost it, but they keep the ball for a good minute and a half right now.
He's Sebastien Letou, longtime MLS standout. I'm Jonathan Yardley. Glad you've joined us this afternoon. 2 of the top 4 teams in the Eastern Conference of MLS Next Pro, trying to qualify for the league's first postseason. Top 4 from the East do make it, and these 2 have pressure right behind them in the standings. Paxton Aronson on the run, and Batiz into the tackle for Rochester. Philadelphia with 34 points, Rochester with 33. Sorensen across for Sullivan. Now Zambrano couldn't connect. So right behind those 2 are Miami and New England with 32 each. And NYCFC2 also still in contention mathematically at 30. So the good news for the chasing pack is that at least one team will drop points today.
Yes, I'm sure all the teams who are still in contention for the playoff are watching this game today to make sure they know who can be the chase after this game today.
Hot day in Philadelphia, 88 degrees, even on the banks of the Delaware here. As Philadelphia gets it to Quinn Sullivan again. He's been active early, denied moments ago by a couple of stops. One from the goalkeeper, one on the goal line by a defender, and that one from Cole Turner. Too high, out for a goal kick.
Yeah, I feel like the passing right now is not the fastest. Like you say, it might be from the heat on the field. Kind of like having player a bit with not much energy, but they need to, I think, move a little bit quicker if they would like to move both of the line of the defense from Rochester or the Union.
How do you, as a player in real time, mentally try and tighten that up and find your clean passing rhythm?
I mean, the thing is, depends about for both teams. You know your player, you know who you want to get on the ball, and I think right now for the Union, you you would love to see probably more, Aronson on the ball, or Bueno or Turner, who got this experience to get the ball and create something offensively. But he has to start, of course, from the back line to play quicker, make sure they find those guys, and the same for Rochester, who probably need to find those midfielders to get right, like right now, the extra pass to make the difference.
Garrett, chance to cross-plate it low, and there was contact in the box. No foul, waves Nabil Ben Salah, the referee.
Union got lucky on this one.
Might turn into a chance for them at the other end. Paxton Aronson on the run. Donovan provides that hold-up outlet. Out for Quinn Sullivan. They like this matchup. He has Westfield for support, chipping it. Paxton Aronson couldn't keep it from going out of play.
Yeah, not the best cross from Sullivan on the right side. It was a good movement from Donovan and Rosson, moving the ball to the other side. But then you see Sullivan with his crossing, who is maybe not his best in his game. He's more a person who go 1v1 with the defender with maybe a strike or a cross on the ground like he did before. But you saw on the play from Rochester before that where Kanji was kind of on the wrong side of Baptiste, who almost got the best out of it and could have a tap-in for the goal in the 6-yard box, but the ball was a bit delivered too fast for Baptiste to react and put the ball in the net.
Rayo holding up against Brandon Craig. Again, almost 4 years age difference. Oh, wow. Big challenge here as Bueno was taken down. Rayo was chasing the ball.
Our first book of the game.
Yeah. No official card yet from Nabil Ben Salah, but everyone in the stadium knows it's coming. Gibran Rayo with the yellow card, and thankfully Jesus Bueno back on his feet.
Yeah, you see Rayo kind of lost the ball and tried to win it back, but he's really late on his tackle and just got the ankle of Bueno on this play. And so easy call for the referee to give the first yellow card of the game.
'23rd minute, Philadelphia Union 2 in blue and gold, attacking right to left toward the Ring of Honor at the west end of the stadium here, and Rochester, New York FC in white and green, attacking toward the Delaware River and the Commodore Barry Bridge. Union have been on the front foot most of this one. Chance for Westfield to break forward, and that spins through the penalty area. It's 3 times we've seen a ball played through the 6 with no one to receive it.
Yes, and I think it's those type of games Zambrano is learning a lot, because it's where he's supposed to be as a forward. When you are making the second run, it's where you need to really sprint and be here if the ball is delivered. And it's been, like you said, 2 or 3 times right now in this game that the good cross from Westfield or from Sullivan, but nobody at the end. And Zambrano was kind of like waiting for the ball in a PK, where he's usually waiting for the ball. But today we need him to be in a 6-yard box to be able to tap those people and an easy score.
So they are finally going to make the goalkeeper substitution. Kaique Santos still hitting the ground in frustration, unable to keep going. And so Rochester played it out to get this substitution to take place.
And is it like a hydration break as well, it looked like?
I'd say it's our 3rd hydration break of the first half.
Must be hot down there. And we see the cross of the last cross of Westfield. Really put the ball really not with much space and give time to his forward to be in the box. But you see Donovan and Zambrano were a little bit late and cannot finish those chances. But again, he come on the right side of the Union, who have been the most dangerous with Westfield and Sullivan, and they are really taking the space in the back of Garrett and Wood.
So Philip Ejimadu comes in. 23-year-old, born in Minneapolis. Nigerian dad, Brazilian mom. Grew up in Brazil from the age of 7. Spent a couple of years as the LAFC backup. Got some minutes on loan in USL, and then spent last year with the Las Vegas Lights, which was an LAFC affiliate. Did not see any action. Started their 3 Open Cup games this year, as they beat Lansdowne Yonkers, FC Motown in a shootout, the eventual NPSL champions, and finally lost against New York City FC in May. So he hasn't played a competitive game since mid-May. He may face a chance right off the bat.
Yes, I'm like trying right away to make him make a save because he doesn't have any warm-up right now.
Sorensen, a dangerous ball again through the 6.
It's something I think Coach Leblanc is going to talk to his forward to be at the end of those crosses because he's going to be a bit, I think, upset to have nobody finishing inside those boxes.
We've seen Zambrano Delgado, who's only playing his 2nd game with this group, and Donovan show up in the same spot a couple of times. Hold up work by Rayo to give Rochester an outlet. Here's Inalien with some space. Neat touch by Jalot, the big figure in the middle, to both shield the defender and move the ball with one touch at the same time. Offside flag goes up against Rayo.
Good line from Craig and Kanji, really having just right now one forward with Rayo to take care of. There's Inalien and Williams not playing that high right now, so it's pretty much just Rayo being on top and the midfield line of Rochester just being low to defend and help their back line.
Chris Donovan read that the best for Philadelphia. Began the year on an MLS Next Pro contract, but signed to the Union first team after a great start to the campaign. See kind of a 2-man game between Rayo and Inalien there.
Yeah, really trying to go in counter-attack right now, but cannot find the right pass for Rayo to find Inalien in a space where he was a lot of space, but great intervention from Westfield.
That was the 3-5-2 we were joking about.
Exactly.
Well, you can see how far forward Philadelphia was pressed there. Everybody from Rochester below the center circle.
Yeah, you see the energy of Rochester is not really high right now, and I think they are really looking to just defend low and try to catch the Union in a counter-attack.
Kanji's diagonal finds Westfield. That cross targeting Zambrano, and again it was out of reach of Zambrano and Donovan. Closer this time.
Yes, but if I'm coaching staff of Union 2, I know what I'm going to work next week with my forward. It's going to be the run near post and make sure they finish those chances, because you need to have minimum one body into the 6-yard box. And I know that Zambrano and Donovan didn't play a lot this year together, which it takes time to get kind of the chemistry between the forward, but you need to be here to score those goals. Even if you make an unselfish run, as I call sometimes, it's you make the run to just attract the defender, and then you open the space for the second man coming. And right now, none of them is doing it, so they need to have minimum one body, because you see the Rochester defense is a bit sleepy as well.
Turner got to face goal. Paxton Aronson. Bueno. That one's played low and deflected wide. This time by a Rochester boot. Christian Wood sends it out for a corner kick.
Yes, great intervention from Wood. And if he didn't put this ball, I think Donovan was right behind to maybe have a chance to score. But You see Westfield, trying to find, and yes, Donovan, and in the back spot you have Zambrano. So on these plays they were right on time. Everybody from Rochester is defending in their box. Nobody's staying forward, so the Union can put some numbers into the box as well.
Their second corner. First one that Ejimadu, the goalkeeper, has had to face. Craig is still out wide, bends in the cross again. He tries to go near post, and again, the Rochester goalkeeper, a different one this time, is able to react. No score, 31st minute. Rochester had the game's first good opportunity back in the 9th minute. Will Inalien saw his chance blocked by Matt Fries from close range. Since then, it has been pretty much one-way traffic right to left. And now we're going to get the cooling break.
Hopefully it's going to be too long, since they had a few breaks already in this game with the injury of Santos.
Stoppage time is going to be significant in this first half.
Yeah. I think this cooling break, helped more Rochester than the Union right now, who I feel like a little bit better physically than Rochester. You see the energy was a bit better from the Union, but Rochester, I'm not sure when did they travel for this game, but they look a little bit groggy and not really 100% in this game right now.
Are we going to get some water for the guys in the front row with their shirts off and supporting Rochester?
Yeah, and you just noticed that they just took off their shirts, so luckily they're not in the sun, so no sunburn for them, but they're still pretty loud supporting their team.
I'm just saying, if it's a cooling break, I think these guys could use a little bit. Oak Street Brigade signage there. You can see a rhino, because the Oak Street Brigade goes way back. North Star Ultras are the more modern day supporters.
You teach me a lot. I didn't know anything about that.
You've actually been there and played against the Rhinos, so you can teach me a lot.
It was a long time ago.
We told you this game in the thick of the Eastern Conference playoff race in MLS Next Pro. The other games this weekend have all gone final. Friday night, New England beat OCB to stay in contention. Malcolm Fry opening the scoring for the Revolution, a 2-0 win. And then yesterday, Toronto all over Miami, 4-1. That opened up a 4-point gap between Toronto and Philadelphia for the Northeast Division title. And it kept Miami 1 point behind Rochester, 2 behind Philadelphia. Those are the key games in the Eastern Conference this weekend. In the West, North Texas SC eliminated Minnesota with a 2-1 win yesterday. And again, the Houston Dynamo 2 knocking off St. Louis City with a 1-0 win. St. Louis and Tacoma still in good shape in the West. Tacoma's already clinched the Pacific Division title. Houston can catch them, though, could even win the Frontier Division title over St. Louis with a couple of games remaining. North Texas SC has also confirmed its playoff spot. So we know the Western Conference playoff picture. We're still trying to decide the East. It'll be 4 teams in each conference, the 2 division winners, and the next 2 best records. 8-team single elimination playoffs here in this first season of MLS Next Pro, with 21 teams going up to 28 teams next year. Almost a full deck of cards. At least what passes for one.
I think the game will be a bit more interesting for this championship, just because when you always play against the same team, it's not, as fun for the players because they know who they're going to play. But when you have more teams, you can really challenge yourself and see who is the best as a youth development in this country.
Good battle there between Rayo and Kanji. Rayo able to hold it up. Anton Sorensen into the tackle for Philadelphia. And the referee, Ben Salah, was very firm that was a Union throw. His assistant on the near side was going the other way, and the man in the middle gets the last say. 35th minute here. We will get some stoppage time at the end of the first half. We've had 3 injury breaks, all for the same player who has now left the game, and a cooling break. And Sebastian Ejimadu came on in the 25th minute, so we've been playing better part of 10 minutes, and Union still trying to test him with a clear-cut chance. On the move here, this is Dolabella, part of the national championship team at Marshall a year and a half ago. Player still down as well for Rochester behind the play.
He looked like a Inalien who stay on the ground after making the counter-attack first play for Donabella was going forward, but he looks fine now.
Youngster Westfield going to go in the book here. Yellow card.
Yeah, and you see like on this play what Inalien got better than Westfield. It's a little bit of experience, a little bit of physical ability. I think for Westfield, who is still very young, and Inalien, ready to try to pass him with his speed. You see Westfield trying to find physically, but Inalien, passed him, and the referee normal was able to give a yellow card for Westfield for this foul because Inalien could have been on a break.
It's a tough game for an outside back in a 4-4-2 because you have both the winger and the wing back coming at you.
Yeah, I play this position at the same age than Westfield, and it's tough, especially if you have more, I think, like Westfield, an offense minded to come and do overlaps. Then when you have to defend against player like that who come at you one-on-one, it's never easy, and you need to be smart about your position and when you are able to put some pressure on the forward.
Free kick floated up for Dolabella, number 5. Headed down by Sullivan for Philadelphia. Zambrano, 37, or 97, I beg your pardon. You may know him as Zambrano Delgado. Game-winning goal in the MLS Next All-Star Game. Winning goals for the MLS Next Under-17 title as well for Philadelphia. Moving up to the second team ranks this second part of the season. Again, just his second game.
Yeah, they are trying to give you an opportunity to show what he can do at this level. Still very young, but with a future, pretty bright for him if he keep playing at the same level he has been the entire year.
A couple of interesting names available off the bench today as well. Jeremy Raffanello, his first time on a roster for any Union team since he was in the academy back in the day, just reacquired as a homegrown player by the Union. And on the Rochester side, Opie Edwards, just signed this week. Hasn't seen any action. He is available on the bench. That one fell kindly for Garrett. Thought about trying it from distance. Brandon Craig was right with him.
Yeah, and you saw Inalien was right open on the left side, but wrong choice from Garrett, and now an opportunity for Aronson.
Great first touch from Paxton Aronson. Has help from Sorensen. Haitian-born Anton Sorensen, now 19. Sullivan got just enough of that to start the interchange. Still Sullivan.
Gemondu not makes a save to get the ball. It was easy grab for him, but his defense clears the danger.
I think Batiz was waiting for Ejimadu to pick that one up. Aronson knocked down as he delivered it, and it will be a foul whistled against Ed Williams, the Rochester captain.
Yeah, and you see a bit more of Sullivan and Aronson like getting on the board and trying to find the deadlock of the defense right now, try to pass the ball, moving forward with some Good play from Donovan and Zambrano, you know, being in the box, trying to be a wall to them to get the ball back. And now it's a dangerous free kick for Craig. A little bit, for me, far for him to score from here, but who knows? You saw him, you know, being dangerous on the free kick earlier. So why not?
I get the sense with the new goalkeeper, he might try this.
I mean, if I'm Craig, I really focus on the fact that to put the ball on target, have Ejimandu make a save, and maybe have a rebound for the forward to get on it.
It is Brandon Craig, blocked by the wall. Still Philadelphia, though. Westfield going back post too high for Bueno, and it's out for a goal kick.
You hear the fans telling Ejimandu that there's a ball behind the goal, so he could get a bit quicker.
I love being able to listen in on some of these. Decent turnout on the near side today at Subaru Field. They keep them in the shade, so you can't see them on much of the broadcast, but
beautiful day on this Labor Day weekend.
Yeah. There are games tomorrow night in MLS Next Pro as well. Kansas City, Colorado, and San Jose, Vancouver playing on Labor Day. Hakan Yurije all the way back to Ejimadu. Hakan Yurije signed by San Jose when he was just shy of 17. Really didn't get an extended run of minutes in MLS, got a couple of loans. This is the most playing time he's had, though, really since he was in an academy. And he's still only 20. He started this from the back. Gibran Rayo, also 20, up front. Dipsy due to the left foot, but couldn't connect with anybody on the cross.
Yeah, not much number pushing forward for Rochester on this one. See Rayo being a little bit isolating on the left side, trying a little bit of hard cross, but the ball just fly above everybody and when you throw in for Sorensen.
What's the feeling like as a forward when you get the ball in the corner and you look up and there's nobody within 20 yards of you?
It's hard because you know that he's working hard for his team defensively, and then you always have to run to make something out of nothing, and when you have nobody following you, it hurts sometimes to know you're by yourself.
That's the voice of Sebastien Letou. I won't give you his full resume because we would be here too long, but longtime great in MLS with multiple teams. Seattle and Philadelphia most prominent among them. Inalien chance to shoot. He moves it instead. Williams faked out one, but not the second, as Westfield was there to cover Brandon Craig. This is Cole Turner in the middle, 21-year-old, one of the stalwarts who's played almost every game this year for Union 2. Craig, another of those, got this to Sullivan. Westfield made the right run, went penalty spot. That's where Zambrano's been looking for it all game. And this time Rochester able to deal with it. Jallo to Dolabella. Numbers for Rochester, that's played through. Inalien is onside. He gets around Matt Freese, and Will Inalien puts Rochester in front. Rayo was offside, but Inalien was not. Rochester, New York with a stunner.
Great goal from Inalien, but great pass. But he started with really the game being between two blocks. You saw that some of the Union players being tired, not really defending. The same for Rochester, who kind of like were chill a bit. You see Inalien, who didn't really come back on the last opportunity, but great ball for Dolabella, who finds the space. You see Rayo, who might not be outside, but Inalien was starting from the back line. Not cover, I think. You see Craig who kind of covers around Inalien and he make a great play around Matt Fluis with just a tap in an empty goal, and he gives a lead now for Rochester. But you saw on this play that physically both teams were kind of like disjointed. You just had like few players from the Union like defending after they lost the ball, and Dolabella with a great ball in a space. Freeze being a little bit late, try to come out and help his defense, but Inalien with a smart finish and the 1-0 score.
Fourth goal of the year for Inalien and fifth assist for Dolabella. And Rochester, which has outscored Philadelphia now 7-0 in 3 meetings this year. A couple of 3-0 wins in their previous 2 games. Out to the lead again and still running. Rayo, 1 against 2. He has help now. Dolabella sends it toward the river. That one onto the roof. But he's done enough. His pass set Rochester in front here.
But you see Rochester that who really look like, not with much energy, who really try to get those goals by counter-attack, and with some of those forward, kind of chilling a little bit, finding the space. You see Rayo, who I think is pretty fast, the same than Inalien, who can really find the space, and Dolabella, who has a great distribution.
Into stoppage time, you see 8 minutes of it because of all those delays in the first half as Kaique Santos tried to continue. The Rochester goalkeeper ultimately subbed out. And so we're into the second minute of 8 minutes of stoppage time now. Philadelphia had been outshooting Rochester 7-3 before that clinical counterattack goal. Again, you see 2 players pop up in the same spot. Bueno with the overlap. Inalien doing the defensive work. Number 9 in white headed that away. Ian Garrett collects.
And you see the space right now for Rochester to really counter-attack. You see Dolabella making a run where Westfield leaves his position.
Sullivan got just enough of that to slow Rochester down. Again, this result would vault Rochester ahead of the Union into 3rd in the Eastern Conference. Wouldn't guarantee either of them a thing. 2 games left. Philadelphia will host OCB next Sunday right here. We'll have it for you. And then close against the New England Revolution 2 on the road. And Rochester plays at Toronto, which will be trying to clinch the Northeast Division, and then hosts NYCFC 2 on that last day of the regular season, September 18th, with simultaneous kickoffs. That's given away. Rayo still battling. He and Kanji exchange shoves. Rochester looking to grab a second here. Dolabella switch, and it wasn't where Batiz wanted it. Runs out for a goal kick.
Yeah, you see Kanji who really help Craig on this play. I feel like Craig is not the sharpest right now finishing this first half. He might be, maybe from the fact that the little travel the past 2 days with the first team and coming back today to play. But I don't really want to find him an excuse. He should be, one of those leaders of this defense.
4th minute of 8 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of the first half. Aronson back for Cole Turner. He'll try it. Not a bad idea, but sent it up and over the top.
Yeah, not much conviction in this shot from Cole Turner. You see that Aronson coming inside to try to find the ball, and then laying back to Turner, who tried to read first time, but way above the crossbar. But I didn't see really any conviction into this opportunity from Turner, who could have maybe take a touch and have a better strike on goal.
So we're about halfway through that 8 minutes of stoppage time. Rakan Urige shouldering off Zambrano. Westfield won the first header. Jesus Bueno the second for Philadelphia. You hear the cry of hold it from the Rochester bench, and that's something Rayo has excelled at. He's not a big guy. He's listed at 5'9", but he certainly has his positioning right to shield defenders.
Yeah, you see in this game the physical ability of the Rochester defense is big right now, especially with Zambrano, who is learning a lot this game for him to know what impact physically he needs to get and get better, because the Rochester defense had a better out of him on these plays.
That header stayed in play. Inalien, big step on Westfield, and Frank Westfield able to recover at the last second, but that one falls in the penalty area. Jalot went down, no call, and Philadelphia breathes a sigh of relief there.
I'd lose the ball right again with Donovan not able to hold it. Rochester finishing this first half much better than the Union.
Ian Garrett. Dolabella and Williams. Here is Jesus Batiz, number 11. Boston area dribbling legend. That dribble went awry. Turns it over to Philadelphia.
And it's where the Union need to get more looks instead of always playing short. You see the run from Donovan and from Sullivan, taking the space when Rochester is playing a high line. It's a little bit too slow from the Union defense, and it started like that with Craig, forcing the issue when the play was much earlier, I think, from Sorensen or from Turner, who could have, switched the field and find the space with Donovan and Sullivan making some runs behind the line.
About a minute and a half left in the 8 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of the first half. Rochester, New York leading on a Will Inalien goal in the 44th minute. Ed Williams fouled near the halfway line. Paxton Aronson will be admonished. Just turned 19 last week. He's going to get a yellow card too. Not exactly the birthday present he was going for.
Hopefully he will get some goals in the second half.
Union 2's number 30, Paxton Aronson. Motion occurs in stoppage time of our first half.
Here is Aronson looking for the run, and Akan Urije, who had just given it away, broke the play up, and that will do it on the first half. A lot of scoring chances in this one. Philadelphia had some dangerous crosses, couldn't connect, and at the end of the half, Will Inalien gave Rochester the lead. What's your big takeaway from the first 45, Sebastian?
I mean, it looked like the Union really got a good possession on this game, really get the most dangerous opportunity, especially with some crosses where some forwards should have been here. But on a quick counter-attack, you see the speed of Rochester and the way they were playing to find those space and get the first goal. I think now confidence is more toward Rochester, and the Union might maybe need to make some sub offensively to get like the spark and the goal to come back into this game.
45 minutes in the books in this Eastern Conference playoff race. Rochester with a 1-0 lead over Philadelphia on this Will Inalien goal. We'll take a break here at halftime, come back and show you highlights, all the scoring chances, and the goal once more. Rochester leads Philadelphia Union 2, 1-0 at the half. Underway in the second half, Rochester and Philadelphia taking aim at the playoffs. And a result today, a full regulation win especially, would go a long way toward reaching that postseason. I'm Jonathan Yardley alongside MLS legend Sebastien Letou. Ring of Honor member as well, of course. Sebastian, what do you kind of expect in terms of halftime adjustments as we see a long ball right off the bat? Sorensen playing it across, and it's in between the runs of Philadelphia attackers.
So my expectation was to get people into the box, to get at the end of those crosses we just saw from Sorensen. Again, a perfect cross into the box, but nobody at the end of it. Everybody making now the run in a near post, and nobody into the kind of like penalty spot where the ball just got crossed by Sorensen, and it's something missing right now from the Union. It's just the last touch, the last run to be able to score the goal and come back into this game.
Brandon Craig with a little look-off pass there. Bueno was felled, but the ball keeps moving. Again, a little lack of familiarity there between Zambrano and Sullivan, but Quinn Sullivan able to win it back. We'll reset the teams for you shortly when we get a chance. No changes for either side at halftime. Here's a chance for Westfield to cross. Send it right on goal as Yimadu punches it away instead of catching it.
Yes, not the safest for Regimondu, trying to clear this cross from Westfield, and he was lucky that he didn't come back into a Union player.
Paxton Aronson whistled for the foul. Remember, he's on a yellow card, has to be careful with playing the ball after the whistle there. For Rochester, 5-2-3 or 3-4-3 formation, depending on how you look at it. Philip Ejimadu, the first half substitute, is in goal. The back five, Jesus Batiz, the right wing back. Jacob Akanyarije, Gerardo Lopez, and Christian Wood, the center backs. Ian Garrett, the left wing back. Boubacar Jallo and Pedro Dolabella, the central midfielders. Ed Williams wide on the right. Will Inalien wide on the left. And Gibran Rayo, the front runner up top for Rochester, and the manager Bruno Baltazar. Baltazar, former lower league defender in Portugal. He's managed in Portugal, in Cyprus, and coached in England before taking this job in December. Sullivan saw that one come off his feet. He picks it up, slots it ahead for Chris Donovan. Sullivan chipping to the back post. It was headed down into a dangerous spot. Christian Wood able to clear it. That was Bueno getting forward in support of the attack.
Yeah, it was a great cross from Sullivan in second post from Bueno, who tried to play it back into the box, but Zambrano was a bit too late to finish the chances.
That's driven low, and it hit the outside of the post. Ejimadu has not looked sharp to start this second half.
Yes, and more conviction right now into the shot of Turner on this play, who really take his time, take a touch. Great low shot, near post. Ejimondu was on the shot, but the ball just hit the outside of the post to go in a goal kick.
Philadelphia Union 2 lining up in a 4-4-2, not a diamond, more flat through the midfield. Matt Freese in goal, Frank Westfield the right back, Brandon Craig, Nathan Kanji the center backs, Anton Sorensen the left back, Jesus Bueno and Cole Turner the two central midfielders, Quinn Sullivan on the right, Paxton Aronson on the left, and the forwards, the teenager Marcos Zambrano, just 17, his second game, and Chris Donovan. Marlon LeBlanc in charge for the Union. Neat touch from Sullivan. Zambrano trying to hold it up with two on him, and he wins a free kick. He doesn't have a whole lot left, Zambrano. You can see Stefan Stojanovic warming up for the Union.
But I would like to see a little bit more run into the space for the Philadelphia Union, and as well as more look for the defense to find the long ball, because the Rochester defense is playing very high when the ball is into the half of the Union, and they shouldn't be able to find the speed of Donovan or Sullivan into the space.
Aronson bumped off the ball by Jallo, no foul. Bueno was shouldered down heavily by Dolabella, doing well to hold him off. Legally, I should say. Dolabella had the ball. Jallo plays this into space for Inalien. Working against Westfield. He's liked that matchup today. This time opted not to run at him. Jalot to Inalien once again. Scored the goal that has Rochester in front. And Rayo was offside, head back in frustration.
Yeah, it's good defense, really holding the line for the Union. But on this play again, you see Rochester really attacking on the right side of the Union with Westfield and Sullivan, and Inalien, with his speed, trying to put some difficulties offensively for Rochester, but it was a good line for the Union on this play.
Neat touch from Donovan. He was taken down, and a yellow card for Christian Wood here. Donovan had faked a long run and then was able to turn with that pass from Sullivan and draw the foul.
Yeah, I think the Union need to keep putting some pressure and some rhythm into this game, because more the time goes, it's better for Rochester to then counter-attack, and they just need to keep pushing number forward and playing the ball a bit quickly, especially when there's some type of free kick like that, where I think physically right now, I think Rochester is much better than the Union, and it's going to be hard to win those battles in the air with the Rochester defense. You're going to need a perfect ball from Craig in his delivery.
Not much comes from that. Free kick, or goal kick, I beg your pardon, for Rochester. That's the vocal cheering section for Rochester. 4 Hardys who've made the trip. I don't know exactly what route they took. Probably New York Thruway to get down here.
I mean, right now their team are delivering a good win for them, so they're going to have a happy ride back so far.
This is going to be a legendary trip, Sebastian. 4 of you making more noise than maybe everybody else at times. Gibran Rayo. All the way back, Boubacar Jalot. Now Batiz, not given a whole lot of space by Paxton Aronson, tries to play a 1-2. Like a steel cage match over there. And again, Paxton Aronson kicking the ball away well after the ball was out.
Yeah,
he's on a yellow card.
Frustration from Aronson right now, not having his best game. He has a little grind to do in this game, especially physically. They're making it hard on him to, on this play, the ball was playing a bit on the ground by Inalien, but the referee decided that they keep playing on. And at the end, he got a bit frustrated to have the ball going into a throw-in, not for him.
Again, playing on a yellow card, you have to be able to control it, show your emotion another way, but don't kick the ball away and get thrown out. Chance for Williams to turn, slip pass. Rayo is onside and freezes there again. Still Rochester threatening.
It's where they need to make a run. Zambrano need to make a run into the space.
Second 1v1 save Matt Freeze has made, and here is the youngster Zambrano working hard defensively, but now losing the ball again.
And that's why you see the lack of experience from Zambrano in those type of play. You need to make a run in space like right now is Donovan doing. There's a lot of space behind the Rochester defense, and they need to take advantage of it.
Philadelphia set up in the Rochester half now. Frank Westfield, the right back. Paxton Aronson. Westfield's cross drifts on him, and Ejimadu at the back post had to pull that one in with his fingertips.
Yeah, it has to be better from delivery from Westfield. When you have those opportunities, you don't have to rush. You had time on the ball. If it's not on, you don't need to deliver the ball, and on this play. He could have caught Ejimandu because his cross, I think, got missed a little bit. But Ejimandu made a great block and a great save.
16th start in 22 games this year for Westfield at right back as an amateur player, retains his college eligibility. From Philadelphia, we saw both Jack Jasinski and Lucas Gilman go on to NCAA careers already underway at Princeton in the case of Jasinski.
And you saw on the previous play, Matt Frey is getting pressed twice to, I think, make twice the wrong decision to try to clear the ball. The first time he could have played short to Konji. The second time he got enough time. He took his too long and he got counter, and it was almost a good opportunity for Rochester. But everybody needs to step up a little bit this game in the Union, bring some movement, because right now everybody is pretty static.
Jalot found some space. I think Williams almost wound up poking it away from him as he tried to keep it moving. Gerardo Lopez, number 2, with a step to win this back. Batiz loves these. And he pushed Sorensen over. Free kick to Philadelphia. We'll get a sub now, and it's going to be the MLS Next Pro debut for Opie Edwards. 23-year-old Ghanaian who's been playing in the English lower divisions. And honestly, the first time we knew he was playing for Rochester was when the lineup sheets came out.
Number 18, Opie Edwards. Substitution occurs in the 58th minute.
So you see Garrett coming out of the game. I think he had some difficulty defensively, having Sullivan and Westfield, trying to get in his back and pushing forward. So he covered a lot of ground. So that's why probably Edward now is going to give a different type of aspect into the game for him. Where he's right now switching side. You see Edward going to the right side.
So he'll be the right wing back, and Jesus Batiz will switch and be the left wing back. Stojanovic preparing to come in for Philadelphia. And we'll get that sub presently.
Union 2 first substitution. Leaving the match, number 97, Marcos Zambrano. Entering the match, number 98, Stefan Stojanovic. Substitution occurs in the 59th minute.
Stojanovic, 14th appearance of the year, half of those starts, half as a sub. Rookie out of both St. Louis and Georgetown for his collegiate career. Sebastian, obviously the Union are chasing this as Westfield, another one who's on a yellow card, gave 27-year-old Williams a little push.
It's a part of this game, to get into the game mentally and physically and kind of compete. It's an important game for both of those teams to get closer to the playoff.
Boy, Jalot's body position and strength there. Obviously, he's holding off a teenager, but he's comfortable on the ball at the same time.
Yeah, no, he is, and it's kind of like those type of game with Rochester, who has a bit more experience, older player, more physical player. I feel like on the field right now, and that's why having Zambrano coming off the field for Stojanovic are going to be, I think, a good change for the Union, who Stojanovic are more experienced and can maybe be a better help for Donovan on top.
So if you're Philadelphia here, you need to chase the game, obviously. How do you do it without being reckless, without being so stretched and open that the counterattack is on every time?
I mean, it's all about communication, with the defense, with the midfield. You see right now Bueno making a run. So now who is going to kind of be here for Bueno if Rochester wins the ball? It's important to have everybody, doing his part in the midfield and in the defense as well to communicate very well. You see right now, Sorensen has the ball and there's not much movement. Luckily, he's obtained a good foul for Craig to hit a good free kick. But like I say, his delivery needs to be perfect because the Rochester defense is very good in the air, and they have been perfect so far in this game.
Will Inalien's goal in the 44th minute, the difference in the game right now. Rochester leading Philadelphia Union 2. Trying to move ahead of Union 2 and into third place in MLS Next Pro's Eastern Conference. Brandon Craig, the right footer. Able to drive that ball, deflect it out for a corner.
And Brandon Craig needs to be a bit quicker, to hit those corners. It's taking a lot of time out of the clock, and the Union need to put some rhythm into this game because otherwise the Rochester, it's easier for them to defend and recover.
Third Philly corner comes to Paxton Aronson. That's headed near post and in. Chris Donovan first to it, and Philadelphia has the tying goal.
Great job from Chris Donovan, winning the ball near post, attacking the ball in front of the defense. Great second cross from Brennan Aronson, from the corner kick of Craig, winning in the second post and finding the header of Donovan, who for the first time beat his first man at the near post and is able to score from a nice header. And now it's 1-1 for the Union, but we see this cross from Aronson, really just drifting the ball into the head of Donovan, who cannot wait for the moment to attack the ball. Aronson really giving a great ball right on his head. He just have to hit his forehead, and nothing Hijimondu can do.
This is number 30, Paxton Aronson.
And it's great for the confidence of Donovan, who it's been a long time. He has been on the court sheet for this team, and as a forward is good to get back on the scoring sheet.
Third assist of the year for Paxton Aronson, playing that one in after the corner. That driven ball will hold up for Quinn Sullivan. He is onside. Trying to interchange with Westfield. Aronson, neat couple of touches. Missed wide at the near post as Imadu was leaning.
Again, you see Aronson having a great technical ability on this play. Didn't get the best first touch, but were able to have a second touch right into the space, and he almost tried to catch Ejimondu chilling for his cross from the left foot and went for the goal, but just find the side netted.
Collision there. Kanji and Inalien.
And it was going to be his last play of the game.
Yeah, Inalien was going to come off anyway as Gabriel Costa is up. Donovan's last goal, August 7th against Cincinnati. He's got 5 on the year now in MLS Next Pro. There he is, Drexel product. Signed in June after a good start to the season to a first-team contract.
And even if they got a goal against, the fourth supporter of Rochester is still pretty loud.
Here are some of the Union fans in attendance, both older and younger. Matt Freese, of course, attended the first Union game ever. You may remember a little bit back in 2010 over at Lincoln Financial Field.
I was there.
Yeah.
Good memory. Hopefully Inalien is okay. Limping out of the field, but he was probably one of the best players offensively for Rochester, putting a lot of difficulties into Westfield to defend on him today. And of course, he got the only goal for Rochester right now.
That change had already been reported to us as anticipated, that Gabriel Costa would come in for Inalien. And yet there is some delay here in making it. All right, he's been approved. Gabriel Costa, 25-year-old Brazilian rookie from SMU. Ah, that's what the change was.
Which means they have one more sub available for Rochester in this game, since it's a concussion substitution for them.
So, yep, that's one of the rules in progress this year. That does not burn a substitution window, as it's a concussion substitution.
Yeah, we saw all the bench of Rochester who got back up for a warm-up.
Bueno slotting it through for Aronson. He drew the goalkeeper out, plays it across. Can't get through all the traffic in the 6.
It was a great play from Bueno, really driving the ball almost the entire way, waiting for the right moment to give the ball to Aronson, and he finds Aronson in the space. Aronson just with a little flick past Ejimandu, but Stojanovic was not able to bring the ball back into the net.
So you certainly hope Inalien, who you can see is still up at the halfway line getting water, is properly evaluated for the concussion. That's the point of the rule, to make sure players get the resources they need, not to save the substitution. And this will be an offside flag free kick for Philadelphia.
Yeah, Rayo has been pretty good all game with his running, behind the defense, but on this one he just was offside coming from the header of the Rochester midfield.
So Chris Donovan's goal has us tied up, and again, players not on the same page.
Yeah, and it's something that Craig needs to be better at. I think it's something he's learning more and more, but you need to find the right way when you see the forward making runs. You need to be able to play the ball in the space, and then he was kind of dead, and he tried to play the ball through as well, but nobody was moving, and he went straight to the goalkeeper of Rochester. So it's something you need to learn, to don't lose the ball as a center back. It's something I always heard in all the recruitment I've been. It's one of the things of every coach is, when you are center back, you should not lose the ball. You are here to just make the ball go fast and make sure you eliminate some lines. And right now, Craig is learning this right now.
Nathan Kanji, who impressed Jim Curtin so much in a preseason friendly that he got him in to Union 2 camp, eventually earned a contract and has been a regular at that center back spot. Little Rabona pass from Sullivan, but it doesn't come off. Get a lot more leash to do a lot more Rabonas when they connect.
Yes, it's something we saw with the first team yesterday, not really connecting passes in the midfield, and you see it right now with Union 2 in the final third. They need to be able to connect a few passes, pass and move like they like to do with Sullivan, with Aronson, and of course Donovan and Stojanovic.
Those long shadows cast by the roof here at Subaru Park. Union will have home games here with the first team and the MLS Next Pro squad next weekend. Rochester one home game left. That is September 18th against NYCFC 2. They could earn a playoff home game if they were to catch Toronto FC in the standings. But a lot of work to do before then. Edwards cuts it back. That shot driven right into the chest of Matt Freese, who dives on it after knocking it down initially.
Yeah, Williams have a great shot on this one. Getting the best out of Aronson and Sorensen on the right side. Coming inside and have a strong shot, but straight in the middle that Matt Freese were able to catch in 2 times. And it's where my Turner need to be. Those second balls, very important at the end of this game.
Neat little burst of speed and skill from Hakan Yurije to start that. Now Gabriel Costa will bring it in. Started in the Division II ranks and was a star right away. Freese again spilling that. He got to it but didn't hold it. Sorensen with the self pass around one, slides and will take the throw in. Man down for Rochester is Hakan Yurije.
Yeah, Hakan Yurije, who I think counters the ball but not really in the spot you would like to counter.
As you see Jeremy Raffanello getting ready for his professional Union debut.
Let's see if Raffanello can bring a bit more energy to the end of this game to get the second goal for the Union.
Stojanovic. Cole Turner out wide for Westfield. That cross took a deflection, and it will be a corner kick coming for Philadelphia. They scored from their last one, not from the initial service, but from the second ball played back in.
It looks like the Union are going to make a sub, are going to wait for the corner to get played before subbing Raffanello.
Fourth corner kick for Philadelphia. Kanji got a head to it, knocked away by Ejimadu with Quinn Sullivan lurking. Knocked out for another corner. I think that was a pretty good look in the end by Sullivan, just from close range.
Yes, everybody in Rochester was thinking that Sullivan was offside, but one player stayed on the line. That's why he was not offside. He was able to challenge his ball. But Ejimadu with a great save, almost with his forehead.
It's brave, at least.
He was. Every goalkeeper I know, you need to be brave to play this position.
Fifth corner coming. Jalot got the first header, but these second ones have proven dangerous. And it's knocked out of play by Cole Turner. Sub coming for Philadelphia Union 2, and it's a homecoming of sorts for Delran, New Jersey's Jeremy Raffanello. Chris Donovan comes out.
Entering the match, number 14, Jeremy Raffanello.
And here's Raffanello. He first played for Philadelphia Union 2 back when it was Bethlehem Steel in 2018 as an amateur. Went off to college at Penn State, all freshman Big Ten team that year. Then turned professional in Denmark. During the pandemic, he came back with Indy 11. Spent the last year and a half with Red Bulls 2. And they were accommodating enough to let him out of his contract so he could sign homegrown terms with Philadelphia earlier, or I guess it was last month now in August. Raffanello now 22. We'll see just how he can combine with this Union team.
Well, he didn't touch the ball, but he got his first foul on this game for Ravanello, trying to help the team defensively.
Now this is kind of the first year we've really been thinking about this. 3 points for a win, 2 points if you win in a shootout, 1 point if you lose the shootout, nothing for a loss. These teams both in the playoff places right now, but not secure. How do you approach these last 15 minutes, and does those point totals change how you approach it?
I mean, it does for sure, especially being so tight right now for the race to the playoff. Both teams are thinking about it, but I feel like there is some room in this game to get another goal in the next 50 minutes.
Kanji won that for Philadelphia. Chance to move quickly while Rochester's caught forward. Bueno looking for Sullivan. And Christian Wood got enough on that header to where Rochester could retain the ball. Oh, Jallo's got some moves.
Yeah, great move from him to break the pressure from Sullivan.
Makes it look easy, too. Did they get the timing right? Sorensen played that, and Kanji will head it safely back to Freeze.
Yeah, and you see Williams, getting his hand in his head, but bad.
That's given away. Edwards, Rayo was hanging out in an offside position, didn't give him much of an option. And the Union are relieved to not face anything more challenging there.
Yeah, they need to be careful with those silly mistakes from the back. Giving chances for Edwards right now on the right side to get a good opportunity, but Freeze came back with a save. And you see right now there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 Union players who are playing almost on the same line. Rochester's keeping a very high line. They need to be able to make some run into the space to stretch this defense and then finding the space between the lines.
It's the old 4-2-4 formation, right?
It looks like it.
Raffanello to Aronson. Stojanovic wants it at the back post. He's headed right back to Paxton Aronson. Batiz gave it away for Rochester, though.
And Aronson stay on the ground after this play. He looked like very tired. I'm sure we're going to see probably a sub with maybe Aronson coming off the field.
Boubacar Diallo just went down to warm up for Philadelphia.
You see how much space right now there is in the game, like between Rochester and the Union, trying to get some breakaways.
Raffanello is the first runner.
Turner not really convicted in this play again, like too casual.
Marlon LeBlanc visibly frustrated on the Union sideline.
Yeah, I will be too, just because you see like there is some things they can do, but the Union is playing a bit too slow. Rochester is being tired as well. It's for both teams.
Offside flag up against Raffanello. 80th minute, Philadelphia Union 2 and Rochester New York FC tied at 1. Jonathan Yardley, Sebastien Le 2 with you. Reminder, a couple more games tomorrow available on MLSNextPro.com. Sporting Kansas City against the Colorado Rapids and the San Jose Earthquakes against the Vancouver Whitecaps. MLS Next Pro action tomorrow night. And then 2 more weekends left in the season. Next weekend, Philadelphia hosting OCB, Orlando City B, on Sunday afternoon. Earlier kick, while Rochester is at Toronto. Big game in this Northeast Division. Opie Edwards able to keep that one in. Play it low, looking for the run of Wood, a center back coming all the way up. Brandon Craig stayed right with him.
Yes, and he started with Wood, who make a great play from the back, pushing the ball forward, eliminating almost 2 entire lines of defense of the Union, and then finding Edwards on the right side, keeping his run, and was almost the person to finish and score the second goal for Rochester, but Craig came big with a strong tackle near post.
They're still going.
And they look like they believe their team can score, and on those type of plays they just did, it looks like they could have.
First corner kick of the game for Rochester. Comes back to Gabriel Costa, and he'll take the throw in. Dolabella set up the Rochester goal. Jalot plays in Edwards. Just got that cross off, mishit by Bueno. Rattles a seat in row 6. Corner kick.
Miss clearance from Bueno on this, who he directly stand behind the goal of Matt Rees, and he give another corner for Rochester. But you see right now it's a between. There's 10 minutes left in this game. Both teams know how much important it is to not give up an easy goal and make sure they are still serious defensively. But at the same time, they know that there's opportunity for a counter attack and maybe get a goal. So it's to find the and right now Rochester is the one who is pushing to get this goal for their team.
Second ball brought down. Hakan Urije will keep it moving. 83rd minute, 1-1. Rochester took the lead late first half on Will Inalien's finish. Flag does go up, free kick coming, drawn by the captain Ed Williams for Rochester.
Yeah, Kanji with a late tackle. But right now I think the game is going towards Rochester, who is playing very well with both of their subs coming into the game, Costa and Edwards, who is bringing a bit more energy on the right side, trying to find a way to give good delivery for Rochester in the box, and now they have a very dangerous free kick.
Christian Wood, number 3 among the targets who will come up for it. Gabriel Costa to deliver. Jalot was the main target, and it's out for a goal kick. Again, if it stays tied, don't go anywhere. Shootout determines an extra point in the standings, and one that could be critical 2 weeks from now when the season ends, the regular season. Top 4 teams from each conference make the playoffs in this inaugural MLS Next Pro season. Brendan Craig still only 18. Kind of hard to believe. It feels like he's been there a long time.
It does.
Rochester really upset that Bueno drew that foul. We've seen him go down and make a big deal of things before. He's right back on his feet here.
Not a big foul, but it hurts. When you get a big guy like Jalot working on you, it really hurts. There we go. Just play the short pass. Just make the block of Rochester move. It's the way they need to play to try to get some movement for the Union.
Sullivan's left-footed delivery took Aronson toward the corner.
Now not many bodies in the box.
Sullivan battling with Gabriel Costa, and it will be a goal kick.
Yeah, good defense from Costa. Help his defense.
Union 2, third and final substitution, leaving the match.
And we get Bouba Diallo coming on. 20-year-old in his first year in the U.S. from Senegal.
Substitution occurs in the 86th minute.
Yeah, and you see Bueno coming out of the game, who on the last few games I saw him play with the Union 2 a bit more energy in the past game. Today we didn't see him a bit more involved offensively, box to box like he used to be. Maybe a bit tired. And Diallo is going to try to bring a bit more energy in the center midfield for the team.
Gibran Rayo playing it back post. Westfield headed it back in that direction. It is the last sub for the Union, barring a concussion. That fell kindly to Costa, playing it back post. Rayo is there, the flag is up, it won't count. I believe it's on Costa on the ball coming to him from Dolabella. And that goal won't count.
Yeah, Rayo was a bit in front on this play probably when Costa crosses the ball forward. But he started with a misclearance again with first, the ball on the right side with Edwards. Cutting it back. Misclearance first from Westfield with header, and then the ball came back. Again, Westfield could have cleared the ball, but get counter. Ball to Costa with a cross back post to Rayo, but he was offside when he finished.
I thought the offside might have been on Costa on the initial ball that came off of Dolabella.
It could have been, yeah, it's true.
It yields the same result in the end. And there's Diallo making his presence known, tumbles over Costa.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Costa offside and not Rayo on the goal.
It gets you back for, it makes up for the formation gaffe.
Probably.
1-1 here. Shootout looming as both teams seek points in the Eastern Conference standings. Rayo winning that free kick for Rochester. See the shadows make life difficult on goalkeepers here, at least. Sun is not directly an issue for the goalkeeper. Freeze.
It's a little bit far from Williams for me to go at a goal, but he may try chances.
Ed Williams knuckling, and it drives wide. Freeze wisely pulling his hands back at the last second.
If I'm Stojanovic right now, I'm running into the space. They are not in place. There's no offside on the goal kick. Sometimes I see things and I wish I can be on a field and try to help. But it's always easier when you're on top like that with us to see the entire field.
Jalot heads it the other way. Slight breeze also in Rochester's favor this half, keeping those goal kicks in. Freeze, he just celebrated a birthday, turned 24. Virgo's a good sign to have. Dolabella on the move. Bouba Diallo came away with the ball for Philadelphia. Sullivan, the open man, it falls to him.
Sullivan needs to be better on this play. It was a great play from Diallo, winning the ball. You see Dolabella just on the ground still from the play from Diallo. But at the end, Sullivan got the ball in his feet, top of the box. We all know he's tired, but he needs to be better. If he decides to pass, to do a better pass to Stojanovic, or then, for me, he should have gone by himself and get an opportunity to have a shot on goal.
Kind of unusual. We had a first half cooling break, but not a second half cooling break. And so just 3 minutes of stoppage time as compared to the 8 in the first half. Again, there was injury involved there as well. Williams comes away with this. Dangerous ball in and freezes first to it.
And Sorensen, who got beat physically by Williams on this play. It's something, you know, those young guys need to learn in those games to don't get beat, because if you're the coach of the first team for the Union, you see it and you know that maybe they are not ready yet to come play for the first team.
Had 1 minute of the 3 minutes of stoppage time. Diagonal ball for the run of Raffanello, playing it straight across as Imadu punches away. Rayo did the hold-up work, found Costa. He was the only one to keep running, and Nathan Kanji covers that. Nobody's really given Freeze an angle there, and he goes straight forward for Raffanello. Stojanovic chasing that one.
New season, everybody is tired right now. Hard to make the recovery run from everybody.
A little surprised on a day like this that both teams didn't make 5 subs, as Diallo and Westfield can't connect.
Yes, I was thinking the same. Some of those double substitution from both of the team, I think could have been helpful, especially like seeing right now the level of the energy in the field.
Rochester 5-1 in shootouts this year when you include their Open Cup win. Philadelphia 3-1, all 3 of those wins with Matt Freeze in goal. He's 3-0 in shootouts. Not there yet, though. As this one deflects, Williams is first to it for Rochester, drives it low, and gives them maybe an edge to the playoffs. Ed Williams in the 93rd minute, and Rochester steals it.
And you see what he means to all of them, running into Williams to celebrate. Great game from Williams. He has been one of the best players in the midfield physically, especially in the second half, you know, getting the ball forward, and on this play, he stayed with the play. It was a little mistake / ball play back to him by the Union defense. Kind of like ball watching with Kanji, not able to recover, and a great finish with his left foot, Pat Masfreeze. And he gives a lead now for Rochester, winning 2-1 with not much left in this game for the Union to try to get back.
Oh, that came out of nowhere, and it's so critical for Rochester. It'll take them up to 3rd in the Eastern Conference with 2 games to go. Long ball, Raffanello chases, it falls top of the box, driven and blocked. Philadelphia's last chance potentially cleared away.
Yeah, you see Stojanovic who got the ball on top of the box and tried to hit it first time, where maybe again he could have some times to trap the ball and get a better look into the goal, but his shot was countered by the defense. But it probably was the last opportunity for the Union to get a tie in this game.
Those 4 guys, this road trip's going to live forever.
They definitely will remember it.
A last-second goal from Ed Williams takes Rochester up to 3rd place, closing in on a playoff spot in their first season back on the field, their first season in MLS Next Pro. Job not done yet, but Rochester in playoff position with 2 weeks to go.
Yes, huge win from Rochester, really being in a position of getting a result today in the Union Stadium, and they did it. It was a tough game, for them, losing their goalkeeper after maybe 25 minutes in this game, and then getting the late goal at the end to get the win. They keep pushing, they really fight very hard. They were very good physically, well organized. The Union got some chances, but not much in the second half besides the goal from Donovan, and at the end, they were, for me, probably the better team on the day.
Disconsolate Philadelphia Union players and jubilant Rochester faces looking forward to a much